All right, guys. Hey, it's Lauren from Land of 10K Sales, and this is our What Sold This Month September edition. I'm going to go over about 25 different things that we sold this month. Obviously, that's not everything that we sold, but these are some things that sold for decent money. Other things I thought are just kind of interesting finds or bolos that you can also look out for when you're thrifting. I'll talk a bit about how much we bought them for, where we sourced them from, and then also if it's sold for asking price or if we took a best offer, and anything else that I kind of find interesting about the piece. I also want to point out before we get started that all of our items that we ship from our store have free shipping on them, so just take that into account when sourcing and pricing, just so when you see the comps that I'm putting up there. Let's jump into it. All right, so this is going to be our beginning here. We got this at a storage unit. So I'm going to just say those are kind of $0 because we spent like a fixed price on those. We listed this for $79.99 and it sold for 65 bucks. Normally, I wouldn't pick something up like this just because it's big. It's hard to test, comes in a big box. But since we got it in a storage unit, we kind of try to sell everything that we can in there. So we just go with it. But yeah, pretty good flips at 65 bucks. We also listed it pretty like after the Christmas season, so we've been holding on to this for a while, so we were happy to get that $65 on it, and taking that best offer. Let's see. Next up, we have this single stitch Badger shirt. We spent $3.99 at Goodwill for this, and it sold for asking price at $34.99. I think those Big Ten schools, Wisconsin is one of them for sure, that sell really well. Not all college stuff sells well, but this definitely sold pretty well, so we were happy to sell this. Let's go on to our next one here. So a Germany soccer jersey. We got this at a garage sale and we picked it up for only $1. It also had a tag on it, so can't really go wrong with new with tag clothing, especially soccer jerseys. We listed this about a month ago and it sold for asking price at $29.99, so a pretty good flip at $1. On to our next one. Ooh, this is a good one. So we got this at Goodwill. It's goose down, which is always something that we look out for. If we can get it for a good price, 100%, but Patagonia especially, that's always a good brand. We sold this, or I'm sorry, we bought this for $24.99, so definitely paid up for it. But we saw them going for a decent amount. It was missing the hood, so that was one thing that we kind of knocked the price off a little bit. We had it listed for $129.99 and it sold for best offer at $115. So not super bad. One of our good, better flips this month, so pretty good one. Next is some hair care products. So we actually got this at Cub Foods, which if you're not from Minnesota, that is like a local grocery store chain around here. And when they clearance out like beauty supplies, hair things, anything kind of in that health and beauty section, we always take a look at there. You can find some pretty good stuff. We spent $5.34 for the two of these, and we sold them for $34.99. We've flipped a lot of different things in the clearance section from grocery stores or like Walgreens or things like that. So definitely be on the lookout for those types of things when you are at any of those types of stores. Next one is from an estate sale. I laughed pretty hard when I saw the what Jeff named this one, vintage umbrella featuring a dog with a shoe in its mouth as the handle. Very accurate description. We bought this for $1 at an estate sale, like I said, and we are spending or we sold it for $42.99. Didn't have it for that long either, so pretty good flip there. Next one, we So this one's kind of cool. We actually found a lot on Nextdoor, so one of those neighborhood apps. We found a lot of Department 56. Someone was selling, I think, about 25 boxes. We negotiated and we spent $200 on it. So 200 bucks for 25 boxes, not too bad. I think this is one of the last ones we have. We bought them last time around Halloween. So I would say I think we have like one left maybe. This one sold at 24.99, not too high, but I would say on average they sold in the 60 to 70 range. Some upwards of like 120, 130. So it was a really good flip getting 25 of these for 200 bucks. We definitely made our money back on like two of them at once. So not a bad one. Department 56, look out for those, especially when they have the box with them as well. Um, All right, we have these Pepe London jeans. We got these out of a storage unit. I have never heard of this brand, but anytime there's like cool print or embroidery on jeans, we always look out for those. And again, when we're in a storage unit, we're just kind of sifting through everything. We had these listed for 99.99 and they sold for 80, so not a bad go there. Pretty good flip. Next one, so this is another thing that we got out of a storage unit. We actually got an entire like Melissa and Doug easel. Melissa and Doug is a Target brand of things, clo or toys for kids. Easel, obviously, it's big. We're not going to sell the whole thing, but we ended up looking it up and saw that the parts and bolts for it were going for quite a bit. So don't be afraid to like part something out, even if it's a larger item. Parting things out can be a really good way to make money as well. We had this listed for 69.99 and we flipped it for 59 bucks at a best offer. So not too bad there. Next, we have this Epson ink cartridge. We got these at the Salvation Army. Jeff picked up probably close to 20 ink cartridges. Those sell really well, especially like unopened ones. So we sold this one. It was at we bought it for 16.24, but it sold for 64.99, and it was a quick flip. I think we're almost out of all 20 of the cartridges. We bought them last month or so, so not a bad flip on there either. Next we have this Aladdin suitcase. And this one we bought at Goodwill for 4.99 and we flipped it for 34.99. Disney's kind of hit or miss. I looked this up because it just looked old and unique. It sold pretty quick, I think in about 2 months or so, so not a bad one. Another health kind of product, Arbonne. I think this is makeup more, a brand. We bought, I think, at a garage sale, 14 boxes of Arbonne things, not just this corrective eye cream, but different ones. We spent, like I said, $85 on 14 boxes, so about $6 per, each. This one actually sold, it was listed for 849 for 84.99, but it sold for 74.99. And that was probably the lowest one of those sold. We sold a different type of this cream, 120 bucks a couple times. So Arbonne, again, any type of kind of makeup or health and beauty stuff, always look that up when it's new in box because a lot of it, if it gets discontinued or something, can be worth a lot. Next, our Duluth Trading Co. pants. We got these at a garage sale for 2 bucks. Kind of like a bread and butter one. We picked these up at the right when they were kind of a low price. They sell really quickly. They're work pants, 32.99, flipping for 2 bucks, not too bad. So that's kind of a bolo brand for us if we find it at the right price. Next, so I'm actually going to show you these two together. So we have this vintage frame Bill Coleman, and then the next one is also a Bill Coleman. These are signed by him. We had never heard of him, but we were at an estate sale and we saw they had a lot of signed art. So we kind of just looked those up just to see. Um, we had them listed for 75 each, so 150 altogether. We spent 40 at the estate sale. It was half off day. And they both sold. We took best offer. We kind of were making a deal with someone. We sold them both for $63 each, so $126, which is always good too, because then we can combine the shipping, and shipping's not as expensive for us. So, pretty good one there. We were excited to sell those. Another pretty good flip of ours, we got this Ralph Lauren purse at an estate sale. It was 20 bucks new with tags. It was a half off day at the estate sale again. We had it listed for 199.99. We took a best offer at 140, but still a really good flip for that as well. So not bad on that. Another Ralph Lauren, that's another clothing piece that we often will pick up. We sold this cable knit sweater for 39.99, and we picked it up for I think like $2 at a garage sale. Again, not a bad price. Sells pretty quickly, especially some of our sweaters are really kind of picking up right now since it's getting into fall. Next, we got these also at a garage sale. These are hockey gloves. Easy to ship, easy to list, 49.99. They sold for asking price, and we got them for $2 at a garage sale as well. So not a bad flip there either. This next one, anytime I see the word tour or something on a like a shirt or a hoodie or something, I always pick it up because I know that means it's probably from the tour itself. Polyphia, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. I've never heard of them, but they've had a ton sold and very few types listed. So I knew this was going to be something that I picked up. I never saw this one sold specifically, but again, a rare hoodie is going to be something that I always want to pick up. We got it at the bins. I think I spent just under $3 and it sold for $99.99. So not a bad flip there. Next, we actually found two NESs and a ton of games in a storage unit we got a little while ago. So we sold the NES, and any games that were worth money we sold separately, but then we bundled some up with this NES as well as another NES that we already sold. We sold this one for $99.99, and that was in our storage unit. It was a really fun storage unit. I wish we had filmed that one because there was a lot of cool stuff in that. Next is this Columbia camo coat. Camo is kind of something that we always pick up at the right price. We got this for $275 at a garage sale. It was listed for $49.99, and we took a best offer at $40.01. Um, Again, camo sells really well. We're going into hunting season right now specifically, so it's always a good thing to keep. Next is this Red Canoe zip up. Never heard of Red Canoe, but if something has like cool embroidery on it, I will often just pick that up and see if it's worth something. Embroidered stuff often goes for a lot, especially unique stuff. So this one we had at $44.99. I picked it up at a garage sale for $1, and it sold for asking price, so not too bad. Next, we've got this McLaren IndyCar jacket. We picked this up for $4 at a garage sale, sold for full asking price at $39.99. So not a bad flip there. Racing gear and things like that often go for a lot. NASCAR stuff specifically can be a little kind of just too much stuff in there, similar to like Harley Davidson. But if you get kind of the more niche, like IndyCar type stuff, that can sell a little bit better. Next, we've got this Lily Pulitzer tote, and we sold that for $35.99 at full asking price. We got that in the bins for about $250 or so. Not a bad flip there. That's a good brand. We sell some clothing of Lily as well, so something you can look out for. All right, then we have a Brooks Brothers kind of dress shirt. This is actually woman's. Um, we got it in the bins for $1.40, and it sold for $44.99. Um, I wouldn't say these flip really, really slowly for us. They don't sell super well. Dress shirts in general just aren't selling as well for us. I feel like there's not as many people going to the office dressing up in fancier clothing or that professional clothing. So it is a slower flip, but if you have the time to wait, they do flip for decent money. So if you're okay with waiting a while, then it's a good flip. Um, Last thing I'm going to show you here is one of my favorites. We found this at a garage sale. It is a vintage Christian Dior polo sweater. It was kind of like a thicker, not just not normal. It was thick, cool tag. You could tell by the tag it was vintage. It sold for $149.99. So awesome flip. We picked it up for $4 at the garage sale. I know Jeff found this and was like, "Is this real?" So we were really excited to get this one. All right, that is going to be it for our September stuff here. I'll make a similar video like this for October. So if you want to see that, make sure you hit that subscribe button for our channel. It would help us out a ton. Also, if you liked what you saw or have any comments about any of it, be sure to like the video and drop a comment below and tell me something cool. If you made it this far, I really, really appreciate you, and I'll catch you next time. Later.